Hello. So, 10 years on YouTube. This is going to be my 10-year Q&A thing. Yeah, I noticed recently after watching T-Rex Space Station's 4-year anniversary video, I thought, hold on, how long have I been doing this? And I looked it up and it was 10 years in March. My first video was me reading, God, what's it called? Dudley and the Monster. It was a kid's book and I read it putting a certain twist on it. I removed it due to copyright, but that was my first video. My very early days on YouTube were very, very different from what they are now. I didn't have a purpose. I didn't have a genre or a niche or have the faintest clue what I was doing or why I was doing anything. Around that time, my thing on the internet was webcam chat rooms. I used to hang out on various places with webcams, just like social. It was like the nearest you got to social media at that time. Facebook, was it even a thing then? I did IRC, Internet Relay Chat. That was a big thing for me around back then. And then I got onto, there was Camarads and Stickcam and stuff like that. Some of them there were shady sides to some of those sites, which was not what I was doing, obviously. But I found the whole reading of a story in a kind of amusing way was, it proved popular. A certain sector of the people who were watching liked it, and I thought, well, wouldn't it be good if I could record that and make it viewable when I'm not on channel or online or you know, doing my thing, a recording. And I thought, well, here's this YouTube thing, which up until that point I didn't see the point of YouTube. When YouTube came out in 2005, I thought, what's the point? You can't watch movies, you can't watch TV programs. Why the hell do I want to watch someone's holiday videos or something like that? And then there was the whole pranks and stupid things, people falling over or doing other demented crap that I was like, I'm not interested in any of that. Why would I want anything to do with that? So I didn't give YouTube the time of day until I had this video that I'd recorded of me reading this story, and I wanted somewhere to put it, and YouTube was the place to do it. It made sense to do that, and I put it up and people watched it a bit. Not a lot. And then there was a video of my dogs in the garden, and that's still on my channel. It's still there. And then I did a couple of other ones that aren't on there anymore, and I can't even remember what they were, but they weren't good, whatever they were. They were very just nothingy. I had no idea. I had no purpose on YouTube. It wasn't a thing for me. It was a repository. It was somewhere to just put me videos, and maybe people would watch them, maybe they wouldn't. I didn't care. It was just somewhere to store them, and if I was chatting with someone on IRC or whatever, I could point them to the URL and they could watch. And then I put up the video of my retro collection, and it went kind of ballistic, and that's what started it off for me. I mean, that was about a year later. It was early 2008, I think, when I put up that video. That one's not there either. Stupidly, I took that one down. I was like, when I updated my collection video, I took down the old one. Dumb. Shouldn't have done it. I've taken down a few of the very earliest gameplay videos as well because they were crap. I wasn't really... There were a few mumbled words from me here and there, but there wasn't really anything to recommend them, and I sort of did updated versions of them and stuff. It took me a little while to get the swing of it, get the hang of it, something like that. But yeah, 10 years of doing this. It's kind of gobsmacking, really. So anyway, this is a Q&A, so I will what? Sentence, can't do thing. I will read out the questions and then I will answer them, because that's what you do in a Q&A, innit? Apologies for any names I pronounce incorrectly. Marcus 51501. Have you ever played the Sam Fox strip poker computer game? What did you think of it? Bonus questions. What do you think of poker today? What do you also think of Sam Fox today? Meh or okay-ish? Happy 10th anniversary. Okay, Sam Fox strip poker. Never played it. Never. No. I don't do those kind of games. I don't see anything wrong with them. They just don't interest me, so I haven't played that. So I don't think anything of it. What do I think of poker today? I'm not a big poker player. I can't even say I know the rules particularly. I have a game on my Amiga called Great Card Games or something like that. Great Cards 2 or 3 or something. And it does have a poker game on that. And I do like that. Of all the card games on it, the poker game is my favourite one because... Okay, got interrupted by the postman. Hope I beeped out the bit where I swore. What was I saying? Yes, I've got this poker... There is a poker game on this Amiga cards thing. And it's good because the game knows the rules. So I sort of have the general gist of it. But it prompts you when it's your go and whether you should raise or call or fold or... And it knows what hand beats what hand. So it makes playing poker easy, where in the real world I wouldn't know. And that game, it's 5-card draw. And I kind of get how it works. I have no interest in Texas Hold'em. I've watched it on telly and I'm like, I'm not interested in that at all. It doesn't do it for me. It just seems, I don't know. That's not how I played poker and I'm just not interested in it. Sam Fox. Now, I wasn't into her back in the day. She was not my cup of tea on a, you know, any kind of level. So, like, I don't know what she looks like today and I don't care. Really, you know. Doesn't interest me at all. Alec Jan. What is your favourite terrible game? One that is truly dreadful, yet you like it anyway. Okay, there are a couple here. One that I know is considered awful, and one that is probably considered awful. The first one, Pac-Man on the Atari 2600. It's considered awful. I consider it awful, but I don't mind playing it. It came with, I had an Atari 2600 Vader for Christmas in 1983. And I had 2 games with it. I had Combat, which I've always thought was rubbish. And I had Pac-Man, which, for all that it's a poor conversion of Pac-Man, as a game in its own right, is quite playable. And when you've got that or Combat, what are you going to do? So I played it all day on, I guess, easy mode and pushed it right round the clock, as you do. Yeah, I mean, I guess I wouldn't play it a huge amount now. But, I mean, I'm not really even a big Pac-Man fan of the, like, 80s arcade games. That was not one of my favourites. But, yeah, I don't mind playing that. Other one, which is generally considered very poor by people who probably didn't play it back in the day, is Hard Driving on the Mega Drive. It was, I loved it then, and I still like it now, because 3D on the Mega Drive, the Mega Drive was not built to do 3D at all, and if you're at all familiar with me, you'll know I love polygons. I love driving games, so you have a polygon-based driving game on the Mega Drive, which was the system I had at the time, and yeah, I'm just gonna love it, aren't I? And I do. I like that game. I've said it before. I got my name into I can't remember if it was computer and video games or Sega Mean Machines, but it was in one of them 2 months in a row because I got like the high score on Hard Driving, and I was quite pleased about that. Yeah, the frame rate's not fantastic, but what do you want? It's the system's not designed to do that kind of thing. And I think they did a fair enough job. I find it playable. I'm not too bothered by the frame rate. I think it's quite adequate. I used to play it in full manual mode where you've got to do the clutch and everything, and I can't be bothered with that now. I do it in automatic now, but I still like that game. I probably play that version more than any other version. I mean, I've got it on the PS2. That one bugs out and the car falls through the road. I just can't make it playable on MAME. Something about the gears or whatever. It's just meh. Yeah, so that would be my answer to that. Pac-Man on 2600, hard driving on Mega Drive. Lilac Floyd says, congratulations on 10 years. Thank you. My question is, do you think YouTube is better now than 10 years ago? What changes to YouTube have you liked, disliked down the years? What are your hopes for the next 10 years? It is better than it was 10 years ago, in some respects. Things that I like the partnership program. Well, why wouldn't I? I get a little bit of money from it, and it's just nice to have a bit of pocket money there, isn't it? For doing something you enjoy. That's great. I like the analytics. If you're just a viewer, you won't give a monkeys about that. But if you're someone who puts up videos and has a fairly large, what are you comparing it to? My audience is large compared to when I started. It is small compared to some people who've been doing it for a much less time than me. But whatever. It's useful. If you put up videos and you have a reasonable sized audience, analytics is useful. If you want to know where people are watching, looking at what gets a good response and what doesn't and stuff, you can figure a certain amount of things out. Retention time, things like that. Does it reach a certain point in a certain video where people just stop watching, and then you can look at what point that was and see what it was you said or did or whatever. I mean, with me it's fairly easy to know what it is people like or dislike. Because if I'm waffling and rambling and going on for ages, and I've done an hour and a half long video and people are leaving after 10 minutes, you know they left because they don't care about the waffling. They want a direct, quick answer, is this thing good or not, and they realise they're not going to get it and they leave. Fine. Analytics will help you with things like that. I like it, it's useful. Yeah, other things. I actually like the page layout, the design of it, the almost all white. People were pissed off with that when it first came out. They'd taken away everyone's like personalised backdrop and stuff like that. But you know, some of them were hideous. They were just awful. You couldn't read what was on people's pages and stuff because it was just awful. And now it's tidy, it's clean. Everything, all the pages look the same, and okay, that takes away the personal aspect of it, but you can read what's on the page, and I like that. I think it's good. Things I dislike, they took away the community aspect of it. You used to have you could have conversation on the front page of a channel. There was like a conversation thread, if you like. It was kind of like a guest book on the front page. It made people want to go to your front page. Who goes to the front page of a channel now? Not many people. I've got it written down here, my answers, so I can remember what I said because there were so many. I dislike how they took away links, direct links to video responses. So if I do this video and someone decides they're going to do a video in response to it, cool, but there will be nothing here linking to their response. So it used to be a two-way thing. It was possible. I mean, I suppose some people were just milking it like self-promotion and whatnot, find the video by the big channel with lots of viewers and do a video response and hope some people will come from there back to your thing. And I guess some people, that was all they did, and that got a bit crap. But in a community like ours, actual links back to video responses done automatically, I think was a good thing, and I think it's a shame they got rid of it. The other thing that I think is worse is way back in the early days when I started on YouTube, the very latest videos to be uploaded appeared on the front page, the YouTube homepage. Granted, it wouldn't stay there for very long, but it meant you never knew what was going to be there on that page. It was kind of, everyone got an equal shot. Your video was going to be on the front page for someone, or a few dozen people or something. I mean, when I first started, I would upload a video and you were guaranteed 70 views within the first hour, because that many people saw you. There you were in this list of like the latest videos, and they got rid of that so they could push their corporate whatever, you know, the next big thing, whoever was in favour with YouTube at the moment. Yeah, I liked it when everyone had an equal shot at getting noticed, and they got rid of that, and that's a shame. What do I hope for? My hopes for the next 10 years? Well, for me, or for YouTube in general, for me, I hope to be able to continue doing this like this. I wouldn't mind getting noticed a little bit more by... I like doing the GearBest reviews. It's fun. I get to test stuff that I wouldn't be able to afford to test myself, and I get to make videos of it and share what I think about it with you, and that's fun, and I like that. And it would be kind of cool if other companies like that did the same thing and said, here, review our stuff. But you know, like with GearBest, I would have to be free to say what I think. There will be those who'll say I've sold out, but I haven't, and if you watch my last review, you'll know that. But I like that. I would like more of that. I don't know if that will happen, because I do wait for them to approach me. I've never approached a company and said, can I give us a freebie? Never done it, because it's not my style. Yeah, I hope that answers those questions. What do we got next? BBC 6001. Did you take the intro music? Did you make the intro music yourself? If so, how did you do it? If not, where is it from? Also, what is your favourite microcomputer? Have you played Sega Netlink lately? Okay, yes, I did make the music myself. I'm trying to remember what the tune is called actually. Storm on the Plains. I made it. Untidy room, all cluttered. I made it with this. It is a Roland MC303, which I bought off a chap I worked with many years ago, who I'm still in contact with on Facebook and on here. A chap by the name of Paul. Hi Paul. He's of all the I think he's got a YouTube channel. And is it KV5? Is that your YouTube channel, Paul? If you're watching, leave it in the comments, and I don't know if I can put an annotation or something. Anyway, Paul, of all the people I know on YouTube, I've known longer than anyone else, because I knew him before YouTube. Nice chap. Made the music myself. Favourite microcomputer? Depends what you want to call a microcomputer. Back in, I mean, they used to be called a micro back in the 8-bit days. So I guess if I have a favourite, ZX81, Acorn Electron, Memotech MTX 512, and it's kind of, the ZX81 has this certain it's so crap it's great thing about it. That I really like. The Acorn Electron, pure nostalgia. That was my gaming thing for years. And the MTX 512, not a big success, but powerful. And as a physical object, lovely. I mean, it's this aluminium chassis and everything, and it's fantastic. It looks brilliant. It feels the keyboards are nice, and the power of it, the games. I mean, they haven't. It's not powerful graphics chips or anything like that. I think it's just the CPU stuff on that just runs really bloody fast, and it impresses me. But anyway, 16-bit, if we want to talk about 16-bit kind of stuff, then Commodore Amiga. All the way, nothing else. Actually, I mean, the Acorn Archimedes is interesting, and I find that an unusual and surprisingly good computer. Probably actually more powerful, if you were just looking at the 1200, it's more powerful than the 1200. But I mean, my 1200 is, if you're familiar with it, it is just in another league. So yeah, that's that. Down the rabbit hole. Hi Steve, I'll ask you something I can't speak. Already asked T-Rex Space Station. I'm glad to see you don't follow the tips and tricks YouTubers always say about making videos, such as put a 10-second preview of the video's subject matter at the start of each one you do. But do you think people giving these tips and tricks are onto something? Actually, I do. Some of the things, the thing is, doing that does make you look slick and polished and maybe corporate, and some people don't like that, and it actually doesn't bother me. I often think I should do a thing at the start of my videos where I say what I'm going to talk about, because there are some people who just want to, of the things I talk about, and this is especially useful in a talky type video. If you're going to talk on 3 or 4 or 5 different subjects, one of those, it may be that your viewer is only interested in one of those subjects and doesn't want to watch the whole thing. So if you tell them what you're going to talk about and tell them at what point in the video that is, and maybe have links down below that you can just click and jump straight to it, I think that's a good thing. It gives people a reason to either watch the whole thing because they think this all sounds good, or skip ahead to the bit they want. I think that's good. Some people, if you're going to sit and go blah for an hour, like I sometimes do, I lose a lot of views because people just don't want to have to sit and listen to me go blah, because for some people I'm just a boring old fart who just blah 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 blah, and they're like, what's this old git, and off they go. So yeah, a kind of a thing at the start. I think there is something to be said for that. I don't do it because it's actually not an easy thing to do if you're doing it the way I do. Hit record and off you go. Because at the start I could say, I'm going to talk about this, this, this and this, but I'll get sidetracked and go all around the houses before I talk about what I meant to talk about, and I might wind up talking about it in the wrong order. So the only way I could do it is if I, after recording my main thing, then went and recorded another thing saying what I'm going to talk about based on what I actually said, and then edit it in at the start, and I can't be bothered. A lot of, I mean, who is it? There's a channel I watch on YouTube, YouTube creators, I've forgotten. Tim Schmoyer. I watch his channel a lot, and he does have good advice. Some of it I just think meh. There's a certain amount of technical jargon that is used, and promotional. It's not exactly corporate, but there's a certain kind of language that gets used there that I don't like. The value of your product and things, and no, some of that I don't buy into. I just think, you know, we're just sharing our opinions and our thoughts. Let's not make it sound more important or big or fancy than it is. And when you get onto that kind of thing, I'm like, and I'll turn off. But some of it is very good advice. And at the very least, I think it's worth watching advice type videos like that, so that you might hear an idea that you never thought of and think, that's good, I'll try it. And I think it's better to hear those ideas and then decide for yourself, do I want to try that or not, than never hear them and you know, better to know it and not bother with it than not know it at all. It's good to be able to make a choice. Yeah, don't know if that answered your question, but that's kind of what I think about that. Where are we at? The Kiranator. What do you think about the Xbox 360 overall, and what is your favourite game you've played on the system? Okay, because I've got an Xbox 360 now, for those of you who are unaware, thanks to Rob Geigerpunk. Cheers, Rob. What do I think of it? Okay. I mean, the thing is, I have to compare it with the PS3, and in terms of graphics and boot up time and build quality and reliability, it's inferior to the PS3. But that doesn't mean I don't like it, because it's got exclusive games on it that you can't get on the PS3. Things like Halo and Forza and stuff like that, which are cool. And there is actually an aspect of it which is superior to the PS3, and that is the online. I don't do the online games with it because I just don't want to have to pay. Call me a cheapskate if you like. I know there's at least one person who will. But anyway, edit that out. Yeah, I don't want to have to pay for online gaming, where with the PS3 you don't have to. So I don't do that. But the store aspect, it just kicks the arse off the PS3. You go into the store on the PS3 and there's plenty of stuff, but you go onto the store on the Xbox 360, and I mean, I just sat there for an hour going through and just thinking, wow, there is so much stuff here. It's massively more everything. It's so comprehensive. I looked at that and I was gobsmacked. So yeah, that aspect of it is great. Overall opinion of it, it's a games console. Games consoles are good, so I like having it. Favourite game I've played on it? Well, I've not played that many on it yet, to be honest. I don't really know. I mean, the EDF was a lot of fun. Yeah, that's probably the best one I played on it yet. I've got a pile of others that I need to find the time to play. And I definitely want to try the Halo games, because I played the first Halo on the original Xbox and I think it's great. So a bit more Halo with sort of high definition graphics, I've got to give that a go. Moving on. Writer's Reign. Which Battlefield was it that you liked the best again? And would someone like me like to play it, since I do play games like Fallout 4, Far Cry 4, Hitman, Splinter Cell series, Dishonored, stuff like that. I play or have played Battlefield 1943, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, hell, I even played Battlefield 2 back in the day. I don't know that you would like them. I mean, are you looking to play the online mode or the story mode? Because certainly Battlefield 1943 has no story mode. Battlefield 3 has an offline mode, but I wouldn't really call it a story. It's kind of rubbish. Battlefield 4 does have an adequate story or campaign mode. I just play them online. It's mindless violence and shooting and romp around on big battlefields, maybe on foot, maybe in vehicles, tanks, planes, jeeps, you name it. Shoot anyone who isn't on your side and hope you don't die too soon, which if you're me, you will. I don't know. I mean, the games that you're playing there, I think probably have a bit more depth to them. Depth is not really something you find in Battlefield, especially not online. It's mindless. I don't know if you would like them. The thing with Battlefield, the thing that I like about it, is you can just dip into it. If your time is limited and you haven't got hours to spend gaming, and if there's going to be gaps, say you play a bit today and you're maybe not going to get to play again until a week's time, if you're playing a game with a storyline, you're going to forget where you got to. and you're maybe going to forget your controls as well. Battlefield, that doesn't matter. You just dip in, kill a load of people, play for as long as you've got, and then maybe you're not going to play again for another week or two, and it doesn't matter. You just dip back in and go and kill a load more people. If that's what you want, Battlefield's great. The one I'm playing at the moment is Battlefield 4. Battlefield 1 is out and has been for a while, and I keep looking at it and thinking I should get that, but it's still expensive at the moment. And I don't know if I would like that more or not. Ain't got a clue, but Battlefield 4 is fun, and the maps are huge, and I like that. It is one of those things. It's like Call of Duty versus Battlefield 4. Call of Duty seems to me very confined in a small space, and I don't like that. And Call of Duty is like, camping is frowned upon greatly, where to me camping is strategic. It's what you do in war, in battles. You find cover, you stay there, you wait till someone runs past, then you shoot them. I will camp, I will romp around like an idiot as well, but all aspects of it are more suited to Battlefield. And I like that. You won't get abused for playing a certain way, especially if you're on the PS3. I mean, I don't bother with the microphone communications anyway. I can't be bothered with all that. Yeah, hope that answers your question. What's next? Last of Avari. Congratulations on the anniversary, Steve. I'm watching your videos for 5 or 6 years. Thank you. Do you have any plans on doing something interesting in photography after you finish the course? Well, I hope so. I mean, I don't know what it will bring. I would like to go into working in the field of photography. It would be nice to be a professional photographer, but I'm under no illusions that just having a degree in photography will get me a job as a professional photographer, because there are different kinds of thing. I mean, I'm never going to be a wedding photographer because I don't do people. And it seems I'm probably not going to be working for National Geographic either. You know, that kind of thing. You don't just get that. So I have no idea really. Anything that's even remotely related to it, I would jump at the opportunity. But ultimately, I will take whatever job I can that having a degree will bring me. I mean, it's like Andrea, my wife, she has a degree in science, biology, but she doesn't work in, she's not a biologist. She went into teaching, and now she's like in special needs. And you wouldn't expect that from a biology degree, but you kind of start in one place and then move sideways, and you never know what you're going to end up with. I have no idea what a degree in photography will bring me. Anything, at any point where, like, if I have a gap between finishing that and working somewhere, I'm going to try and sell my photos online on Art Finder or somewhere like that. That would be nice, just a bit of extra money. It's something to do, whilst continuing to do this and make money on your website and whatever else. Yeah, having a degree opens doors. I don't know what those doors are going to be, but it will be very interesting to find out. Villord Such, 10 years, grats, thank you. I have a question. What is the white taped circle behind you? It's not behind me at the moment, but I know what you're talking about. I've seen it a few times. Is it a household job waiting to happen, or is it a makeshift art installation? It is nearer to the art installation. I don't think I'll see it from here. That is, we're a bit tilted. I like that song. That is a, before I switched over to doing this photography course, I was doing a design, well, it was part design, part IT, but in the design module, one of the things was get someone to stand up against the wall and put masking tape around them, make a outline of them on the wall, and that is the outline of Andrea, my wife. And I mean, I put it there a year ago or something, and I haven't taken it down because I like having it there. I mean, anyone else will look at that and be like, what the hell's that? But I look at that, and that's Andrea just standing. I can look and I can see her, and when she's not here, if she's out or whatever, and I'm sitting here busy doing stuff, it's like she's there. I'm just, I don't want to take it down. It's actually falling off, the masking tape's falling off the wall and everything, but I just like having her outline there against the wall. It's nice. And that was the final question. So 10 years of this. It's been a great 10 years, and I'm hoping I'll continue for another 10 years and then some. I mean, who knows how long YouTube's going to last, but I think as long as there's a YouTube, I will keep doing this. I don't know to what extent. I mean, I used to put up videos every day, and as you know, I can't do that at the moment because I degree course and stuff, there just isn't the time. But I will keep making videos, probably of the frequency that I'm doing at the moment, 1 or 2 a week, because I love doing it. It's fun, and I love the interaction. I used to be able to, I did answer every single comment I got for a long time, but it reaches a point where you just can't do that. Partly there are just too many comments, and partly it's having the time to do it anyway, and sometimes I just don't know what to answer. But I read every single comment, and yeah, most of you I think will have noticed, if you leave a comment, I'll click the is it a thumbs up that you put on these? I think it is. Or there's a, what do you put on them? I've got to look now. I think it's a thumbs up.
So it works.
Shush, that's me. Yes, it is a thumbs up. You'll notice, even if I haven't necessarily answered you, you'll very likely get a thumbs up, which is just my way of saying, I read your comment, thank you for commenting. That's what that means. Other things I can say now, coming up, I don't know. I've got another tablet coming up soon. It's on its way from China. It's I can't remember what it's called. It's a strange one from a Chinese company, and it's not strictly, it's sort of an Android-ish thing, but it's not Android, so that's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's arriving in about a week or so. I'll take a few days to get to know that. It's fun. There will be more gameplays, as always. There's going to be more 360 games, because I've got a stack of them to get through, and I do fully intend to do a video of the DK2, what's it called? Mental blank. Yeah, I want to do a gameplay using the DK2 Oculus Rift that Jesse sent over from Alaska. Other things? I don't know, I ain't got a clue. I make it up as I go along. Now that I haven't got a stockpile of videos, and I haven't found the time to make a new stockpile of videos, yeah, stuff and things, videos, you know what to expect from me by now. It'll be rough and ready and shoddy and thrown together and stuff. So, to everyone who has watched over the past 10 years and who's still watching and hasn't gone away because, yeah, I don't know why you're still watching, but I really appreciate everyone who views and comments and is supportive, and I mean, yeah, it does gobsmack me. I mean, I look at the numbers, the number of people who, number of subscribers, and then the number of views, and just all of the numbers leave me like, wow. And it doesn't stop being gobsmacking. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who makes it so gobsmacking, because I never expected it. I just thought, I'll just chuck up a video so I can show a few friends. And it kind of, well, just got to here. And I don't know how that happened, but it's great and I love it. So thank you all, and thank you for watching.
Right, hit the subscribe button or I'm getting naked on camera. Go on, do it. Right, you asked for it. Ah, you asked for it. Ha, ha, ha.